Good morning, friends. Thanks for popping in here. We got Edith 1972 and Rainbow Ribbons. Thank you both. I thought we would come on and continue where we left off. I am scrolling back to our previous location because I had to refresh everything. We were at the beginning of March, and I took a screenshot yesterday at where we ended so I wouldn't lose it. Let me pull that up. Just a moment here. Okay, we were just on March 3rd. They text so much. It takes a while to get through. Mainly Mackenzie, but yeah. It takes forever just to scroll through February. Okay, here we are. Let me go back and check comments. Hey, Z Raven Girl, good to see you. And Amos Hi-Fi. Oh, look at that. Amos Hi-Fi got a notification at the beginning of the live. That's a rare thing these days. Everybody has trouble getting the notifications, it seems. I do too. I get notifications from people I'm subscribed to. It's like, so-and-so's going live. And I'm like, oh, cool. And I go look and the live was like yesterday. All right, let me share these text messages. Ooh, rainbow ribbons, making spinach and ricotta tortellini. That's good timing. That sounds great. All right. Oh, it looks like Dom and Mackenzie are talking about food too, as per usual. They do quite a bit. Okay. Dom says Mackenzie offered to bring him food. And Dom says, oh, nah, we just chillin' the N-words. Mackenzie says, okay, LMAO, just let me know if you want. I'm in line right now. Dom, okay. Mackenzie, LOL, too late now. I just ordered. Me and Maddie just made some TikToks. Watch them. LMAO, answer my shit. If you can talk to Maddie, you can't text me. Haha. And literally less than 10 minutes later, Dom says, what up? And Mackenzie says, N-word, WTM, me and Maggie bored. Dom says, my car got a flat tire. Whoops, I think I read some of these already of the March 2nd stuff. Anyway, yeah, this is where Mackenzie is trying to say that, he can just have someone else's mom come get them too. His mom's car can just be super full, blah, blah, blah. Very weird of her. Oops. Every time I switch back over to check comments this last couple of days, it takes forever for StreamYard to switch. That's why I had to restart earlier and lost my spot. So weird. Hope it's not my computer. Anyway, I've heard other people are having issues with StreamYard. Mackenzie, okay, Dom said he was on 1%. And it gets late on into the night. Dom says, I'm home. Mackenzie says, okay, we coming. Dom says, when are you getting here? It's getting later. Mackenzie says, I'm about to be there. We close. Good night, Bab. Sleep good. So then the next morning, Dom actually texts her first, which is unusual. He says, I dropped my phone in the side of my bed, so I just woke up. It's 8:09. Mackenzie, about an hour later, says, holy shit, really? At least you didn't wake up too later. Want to get food when you home? Dom says, my car has a flat. Mackenzie says, oh, true. You want me to bring food then? Wait, never mind. We can DoorDash. Dom says, that's a lot of money, though, and it's harder to figure out what I want. Oh, I always have to point out whenever they talk about money, I'm always on the lookout for where Dom was supposed to have started making a lot of money on crypto and started the clothing line and this stuff, because I just haven't seen him do anything but deal in the text messages. And I always want to be very clear, Dom dealing and having issues doesn't take away in any way from the fact that he is the absolute victim here. And I completely support Dom and Davio's law. I hope that Christine Russo is able to get some real good done there. Having the Son of Sam laws given back their ability to actually be effective would be a really good thing, I think. So whenever we come across stuff, where Dom wasn't being such a great guy, I feel like it's important to be honest and read that stuff and not gloss it over. But at the same time, it never, ever takes away from, the fact that Dom was a total victim here. And I support Dom's law and what his sister is doing there. Hey, Kathleen, good to see you in here. Kathleen Fleck is a OG, been around a long time. Hey, Violet Soul 91, thanks for popping in. Prentice 1, good to see you. Just moved to the TV while I clean. Can't text after I close this out. No worries, glad you're in here. Good to see a lot of our OG watchers and listeners in, along with new people. Always happy to see new people joining in the chat. We're kind of chill over here. Okay, let me get back to reading. Mackenzie says, true. Want to just chill then? Dom says, yeah, let me get home and see what I'm going to get done today and how I'm going to do it. Mackenzie says, okay, bet. Dom says, I don't know what time I'll want to chill though. Trying to slowly push her off, Mackenzie says, it's cool. Just let me know when I'm with Maddie right now. And if we chill after 4, my mom can bring us food. Dom says, okay, for sure. Mackenzie says, why mom gonna babysit one of Nikki's kids? My mom gonna babysit one of Nikki's kids. She corrects herself. When I left, she asked for my mom number and one of the kids about to come 3 days a week. Dom says, which one? Mackenzie says, I don't know yet. I wish it was all of them. LOL. What one? 7? Lana? I'm surprised Mackenzie says, I wish it was all of them. She doesn't seem like the type that would tolerate children very well. So I guess that is a surprising positive thing. She actually likes to be around kids. Now, that doesn't mean she's going to be safe for kids to be around her. I don't think she would be a safe person to watch kids, but I do find it, a surprisingly wholesome quality that she enjoys children, Ugh. Mackenzie's such an odd person to feel anything slightly even positive about. Hey, dude, it's Day. Actually made it on time. Awesome. My novellas. Good to see you. Haven't seen you around here in a bit. Like I said, we've got new people and OGs popping in, and everyone's staying all chill and having a good time in the chat. I love it. Okay. Mackenzie says, I think she watching Lana. Oh my God, all 3 are coming. Dom, LOL. Mackenzie, I'm so excited. All the babies. Dom, LOL. Mackenzie, what you doing now? Text back, Bab. Question, text back, Bab. Dom says, I'm busy fixing my car. Mackenzie, okay, hit me up after. Just call me after you do some sales. Again, some sales. He didn't want a DoorDash because it was a lot of money. And now he's making something happen, doing some sales, yeah. Mackenzie says, I'll talk to you soon. Do you hear how bad it's getting our side? I'm low-key scared. I guess they're talking about a storm. Because Dom says, what's up? Mackenzie says, when you coming and did you hear the thunder? Is the roads bad? Bab, LMAO, answer me. That's why I thought it was a storm. Dom says, sorry, I just got to Trevor's. There was a cop and shit. It was super sketch. Mackenzie says, oh shit. After Trevor's, can you scoop me? Dom, let me see, probably. Mackenzie, when you leaving? Bab. Dom, I'll leave soon. Mackenzie, okay, yay. Dom, on the way. Mackenzie, bet. Dom, actually, you want to not chill tonight? He was trying to slowly push her off earlier. But this is their constant fight every day. He's asking for space, and every single day she says, you can have space anytime, all you have to do is ask. But the second he asks, she freaks out. Oh, we got Cal Tato in. Good to see you, Cal Tato. Mackenzie says, I'm already shaking my head. Are you serious? Call me back right now before I flip the fuck out. Laughed at, oh, she went back and laughed at one of his previous messages. And then she says, Dom, I swear to God. Dom says, why? We gotta not chill a lot. Mackenzie, why? How about you tell me why you consistently pull shit like this on me? Read what you said. Dom says, come on, Kinzer. Mackenzie says, Dom, answer the effing phone. You can't just tell me we gonna chill later, then do this. Like it makes me flip the F out. Like you literally said we can chill. Dom, okay, fine. I won't say we can anymore if I don't know if I'm going to. Mackenzie, like I'll go to text you, chill, and think, damn, I hope he actually says yes this time. And when you do, I get happy. Sorry, friends, my wig is like blow into my nose and make it itch. I don't mean to be gross on camera. Because you always say maybe, it's probably I'm just used to you just saying no. Like, I don't effing know why you always got to do some shit at the end where it makes me flip the F out. I was literally sitting downstairs with my bag and effing shoes, like, oh, yay. Now I get to get effing unready and be bored again. Oh, and now you gonna not answer. Thanks so much, Dom. Dom says, Kenzie, we can just chill tomorrow or something. Mackenzie says, but we both know you're gonna say no tomorrow. Like, this isn't fair at all. Dom says, nothing is fair. Mackenzie says, you can try to make it fair, like WTF. If A agree with not chilling tonight, we chilling tomorrow. Shirilla, I don't know why it has the end of her email address or something at the end. Sorry, let me turn camera off and blow my nose. Oh, naturally, of course, it's freezing, not wanting me to hit the button. Sorry about that, friends. My fan I've always got on was blowing my wig hairs into my nostrils and making my nose itch and making me feel sneezy. Oh, good. We got Sonia Stranger in. Good to see you. Rainbow says if it's 1970 in the bushes. Yeah, he's at work, so he's probably like in a meeting or busy or something and got us on background. He'll pop in when he can, I'm sure. Hey, Florida native girl, good to see you in here. Awesome. Oh, Lizbeth, good to see you too. We got Lizbeth PCB. Bunch of names I recognize and some new ones. Okay. Dom says, well, I don't know what I'm going to have to do tomorrow. These are crucial days. I'll explain to you in person. Interesting. These are crucial days. Caught being scammed. Mackenzie says, then why the F would you say we can just chill tomorrow or something? I don't know what that means 100%, but it probably is. I guess we can just chill another day or something. Dom, Kenzie, I don't want to be arguing. Let me explain to you later. Mackenzie, can you FaceTime me later though? I don't either. It makes me so sad. Dom says, no, like I'm going to be really busy these next couple of days because I got to get a lot of shit done. Mackenzie says, with sales? And when will you have time for me? You can try to chill with me at night one of those days or just bring me with you one day. And about 30 minutes later, Dom says, what you doing now? Did you start reading that book? I think he's talking about, he said a book about something about her anxiety or something like that. Her crash outs. I can't remember in the previous text that we read. Mackenzie says, I just bought some shoes. Yeah, a little. They got blue Jordan 1s. They so cute. Dom says, let me see. Mackenzie says, FaceTime me. I already FaceTime you twice and you didn't answer me. Aye, Dom. Still no answer. Aye. And that went from almost midnight through to, she said, still no answer. At 9:34 the next morning on 3-4. Dom replies, what? Oh, I crashed super early and slept hella long again. Mackenzie says, well, your sleep is always more important, but you could have told me you were going to bed. I want to show you my shoes. Dom says, I didn't know I was going to bed. Send pic. Mackenzie says, it's okay, Beb. I hope you sleep good, though. I'll send one right now. LOL, look, chill with me sometime today. They just had that argument yesterday. He's going to be really busy the next few days, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Dom says, I might have to drive to the east side. Okay, if there's anyone listening who's lived in St. Louis, I lived in St. Louis for almost 10 years, St. Louis, Missouri. So there's a reaction when you hear go to the east side. Like, if you know, you know. I had some great friends who lived on the east side, but that didn't mean that, I was safe there without them. The east side is dangerous for most everybody unless you kind of been born and raised there, know your way around in that kind of place. Lisbeth, I agree. Kathleen says that relationship is too much work. If love, it runs smooth. Right? Yeah. Like, I'm not going to pretend 1970 and I've never had a disagreement, but oh my God, we have never been toxic like this. Never. What the hell? Rainbow Ribbon says she gives needy people a bad name. You're right, because there are people who are needy, like maybe they have baggage or something like that, had bad experiences that causes them to be emotionally needy in a certain way. And you can be needy without being absolutely toxic. You can be needy and simply request reassurance without going so effing toxic. If someone maybe doesn't understand right away, but you need the assurance, you know what I mean? Like, being needy just in itself is very navigable if toxicity doesn't go hand in hand in it, and they really don't have to. You know what I mean? Okay, now let's get back to their toxicity. So Dom says, I might have to drive to the east side. Mackenzie says, if you do, I can just hold it on me, or we can just chill after you get some shit done. I'm still low key mad at Maddie. Dom says, stop fucking texting me so fucking shady. I guess that's because he already told her he was gonna have to chill, but I don't know. He was replying. I don't fully understand. Like, sometimes Dom goes off on her and like, yeah, I get why he would be irritated at her all the time, but he does go back and forth himself some too. And he told her straight up in several of these texts that he is diagnosed with bipolar disorder and other things. So it makes sense. From what I understand, Mackenzie had a mood disorder diagnosis too. This, what the heck was it? Hang on, I have an email that says it. Just a moment. One of you who is probably listening in the chat emails me awesome, helpful tips. Man, I don't know why switching tabs is so slow. It's crazy. Like I said, I really hope this isn't my computer and that it's just StreamYard. I have to have 1970 take a look at my computer, see if it needs a cleanup or something. So a while back, I downloaded a virus by accident. Not, I don't know if it was a virus, more as like malware, like some Russian hackers almost took over my desktop because I was trying to convert a video that Into the Weeds got in the FOIA files that was completely corrupted. And I was doing research on how it was corrupted, what, my program was telling me about why it wouldn't play. And it said, what kind of converter to download to try and fix it and everything. Well, I downloaded accidentally a dodgy Russian converter and got my desktop infected. 1970 had to keep Russian hackers from taking it over from me. Oh, let me check comments again. Hey, Shorty Pie, good to see you. Glad you caught the live. Amos Sci-Fi says, I used to be toxic. I was brought up to argue and live in conflict and craved attention. Then I got with my hubby. I was put in my place once nicely, but he married me eventually. That's important too, to admit when we know that we were the toxic ones at times. Because I will definitely say, like, in my late teens, like 19, 20, 21, I had pretty toxic behavior. It was, again, kind of my example. And I had to kind of learn that crap on my own, be like, wait a minute, happier people aren't behaving this way. Let me just curb my behavior a bit and see how things go. And you just unlearn toxicity that way. And it definitely can be done. And kudos to you, Amos Sci-Fi, for doing it. Shorty Pie, this was a very toxic relationship, definitely. Kathleen says, the girl has no true friends. If she had them, she would hang with them. Yeah, it seems like everybody was just of a use to her, and she had an obsession with Dom. Koi Kane finally made it to live. Hey there. Koi Kane has recently, I'm so invested in Koi Kane's animals. She posts on her channel her animals. She has this really awesome peacock couple named Captain America and Charlotte. And recently she rehabbed a pig from the brink of starvation to like all fat and happy while in its little mud hole. It's so cute. Let me finish here. Lots of content creators having trouble with StreamYard, case and aggressive defiance. Thank you for letting me know. I'm really glad it's not just me. Rainbow Ribbon says the Russians invaded, right? Yeah, they did. I'm over here loving like Russian art and culture, not blaming the whole country or anything for what Putin did and stuff like that. And the hackers I get happen to be Russian. It's like, come on. Hey, Kung Fu, good to see you. Here for my morning. Good God, what's wrong with these people, right? Yeah, perfectly imperfect. Good morning, listening while I smoke some and clean my kitchen. Awesome, glad to have you here. Rainbow says hi to all the folks who joined as I burn my tortellini. Oh no, I hope it's still savable. Oh man. Okay, let me get back to reading here. Oh, what I was looking up here. DMDD. I thought I had exactly what it was in an email, but I don't. Oh crap. Everything's taking forever again. I can't even do my aggressive typing because everything's so stalled. Nothing to do but wait a minute for it. Good Lord, this is nuts. It should never take this long to bring up Google. That's what makes me wonder if it's my laptop because, or not my laptop, my desktop, because it's every tab, not just the StreamYard tab. DMDD. What is it? Disruptive mood dysregulation disorder. And the key details and symptoms are outbursts, temper tantrums, and the diagnostic criteria. It requires someone to have these multiple times a week and stuff like that. Chronic irritability every single day. The treatment, it says, typically manage psychotherapy such as cognitive behavioral therapies and sometimes medications. So, like, it does sound like there's a diagnosis there that indicates that Mackenzie was, I don't know, like, it says that this diagnosis is under 18 only. So, like, what does that mean? That they grow out of it? Sometimes these diagnostic criterias really confuse me and cause me to give them some side eye while recognizing I don't have a medical education. I'm not trained. So perhaps I just don't understand it. You know what I mean? I try not to pretend to understand something that I don't have the qualifications to understand, but it just feels weird and sus. Hey, Highland Girl oh 05, good to have you in here. Kathleen says, Koi Kane is awesome. I love animals too. Yeah, she is. I love her farm stuff. Kung Fu says, save the tortellini. Oh, man. It was Hi-Fi says, a brat. Yeah, that's what she sounds like. Z Raven Girl says, I think with behavior modification therapy, it can get better. That's another thing I was wondering about. Like, if she actually had these diagnoses, did the Shirillas do anything about them? Because I don't hear anything about her seeing a therapist or anything like that in her text and things. But there are texts about her taking anxiety meds. So I don't know. It just makes me wonder, did they start treatment, not follow through? Like, what really happened here? It's something more to dig into, in my opinion, because I don't know if y'all been watching me for a while, I love getting into all the nitty-gritty details of a thing like this once I get interested. Kung Fu says pigs are sweet. Is it a pot belly or a big one? I'm not actually sure. I know it's little right now, but I'm not sure if it's going to get bigger or if it's pot belly. Koi can probably tell us though. Jupo says, I wonder who gave her MJ for the first time. Her dad was happy to fix her bong. Is that because it actually had a therapeutic effect in lower doses, maybe, or made things easier for her parents? I'm sure that's probably what they would say if they ever get the idea. Maybe they'll see your comment and then we'll see them doing another Cuomo interview and be like, we had to give her marijuana for her MDD. What was it? DMDD. Sorry, friends, I couldn't remember. But Yeah, I don't know. At that young of an age, it just feels so wild. Like if it was meant to be therapeutic at that young of an age, you'd think that they would be forcing her to do edibles or something. But I hate to give Steve Shirilla, his words any credibility. But honestly, when he says we couldn't control her, I do feel like he was speaking some truth there. I mean, I don't think they tried enough, but short of locking her up, which doesn't seem like she did have the kind of diagnostics criterias that would actually justify that. You know what I mean? I don't know what they were gonna do. Dom tried to lock her out of his house, and she was outside threatening to break down the door, key in his car, and vandalizing things. So yeah. Rainbow Ribbon says, I'm sure long term therapy would have been cheaper than her substance habit, to be honest. For real, right? Z Raven says, she strikes me as someone who wouldn't see her behavior as a problem. No, she doesn't. And what's weird is her parents really don't seem to either. And so, even though I do believe Steve Shirley was telling the truth when he said we couldn't control her, also, it seems like part of the reason they can't is because they just justify every single thing she does. It's so confusing because it wouldn't take away from their cause if they were saying, no, we don't believe this is murder, we believe it was an accident, they could maintain that stance and still be honest about Mackenzie being absolutely out of control. I don't understand why they try and make it something else by sticking to the, oh, she only bullied other bullies to stand up for people, or they have to go with, well, she was right in the things she did, she just needs to understand protocol and how to go about things better. That was things we were talking with her about. Like, it doesn't seem like those talks ever included anything like, hey, don't freaking do that. You can't do that. It is unacceptable to do that. Steve did in one text message exchange where she was being absolutely crazy to him about leaving fast food wrappers in her car, which wasn't even her car. It was their car that they let her use. And he was like, hey, you can't talk to me like that. But that's literally all he said. And then it was just done. They went back to talking normally. Weird, 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 weird. Rainbow says, do CPS intervene with help over there the way they do in Europe? Like if we call them here for help with either wayward kids, we could get services and intervention help. You can. It kind of varies state to state, location as to how much help is available, what they can and can't do, because in the US, each state has their own laws, and then each county within the state can have different laws too, that as long as they don't override a state law, can be different. So they did call 911 asking for help at one point, saying, we need to know what we need to do. What can we do? Because Mackenzie was threatened to suicide herself. And at the end, though, when officers showed up, Steve and Natalie started saying, we don't actually think she would. Well, in my opinion, even though the court kind of ruled differently, in my opinion, I think she was, because I don't think you hit that wall. Even though she did aim it for just Dom, she's not completely dumb. She had to know that there was a very likelihood that she could die there too. She just got lucky. So, yeah. Shorty Pie says, yes, she has them wrapped around her pinky. There's 1970. They were asking earlier if you were lurking in the shadows. For anyone new, 1970s, my husband, always so supportive over here. He says, I think the seeds of her being out of control were planted early on in her life. Someone like that has learned no consequences over a lifetime. Definitely, and continues to, because if you listen to their jail calls, Natalie just continues justifying every single thing Mackenzie says and does. It's weird. Rainbow Ribbon says, Highland, a few months of no allowance, freedom, and car surely would have helped that. Yeah, I do think that, in those circumstances, I think she would have snuck out and went to Dom's. Now, whether or not Dom would have taken her in and accepted her, just called her parents, that's another question. We don't know because they didn't do that. I do think, if they attempted these things, she would have just ran away, circumvented. But I do think she also would have come back. And maybe it would have, helped her realize consequences are escalating. I won't be able to circumvent all the time. You know what I mean? Like they had to try something and it doesn't seem like they really did. They want us to believe they did while at the same time giving no examples of anything they really tried. Kung Fu says, Koi Kane, you saved that pig. Yes, she did. Absolutely. Shorty Pie says, Natalie wants to be Kenzie's BFF instead of her mother. I wonder if she's scared of her. I honestly wonder that sometimes if, like, the things that they say are so not actually helpful to Mackenzie's case that occasionally I'm just like, do they want her to stay in prison and not get paroled because it's easier? Oh, Highland Girl says a good kick up the butt would have sorted her out, but rules have been implemented, should have been implemented at a young age, definitely. Rainbow says, poop. I don't know what you mean there, Rainbow, because I've gotten off on the timing, so I don't know which part you're reacting to. Hey, Diet Pepsi for me, good to see you. They say, quote, she's a dumb kid, Daddy Steve, right? Yeah, crazy, crazy. 1970. Oh, thanks. Good to see you. Prentice says, oh, this is about yes, I'm sorry. I didn't see that you weren't caught up there. Yes, about Mackenzie Shirilla. Z Raven Girl says those parents didn't parent. Kung Fu says, did she smoke with her parents? Apparently so. I think there's a text message of Steve packing a bong for her. And also they discuss buying weed, her and Steve do in text messages. And it seems like to me like Steve bought from Dom. I often wonder if that's why he tolerated as much from Dom and Mackenzie as he did, because Dom was his source, his dealer, his plug, Prentice, when she killed her boyfriend and their best friend with the car crash. Rainbow Ribbon says her dad lended her his personal pair. Yeah, I believe that was the bong, right? It was in Ohio, Prentice. Jupo says, I think trying to parent her as a child would have had her being loud and aggressive back. And if they backed down, it would have just taught her it worked. Possibly, who knows? But it would be interesting to know had they tried or what they tried. Okay, Rainbow says the poop is about different laws in different states. Yeah, that's a weird thing for people to understand sometimes about the American justice system is like things can have totally different consequences in different states and still fall under American federal law and stuff. Absolutely, Koi King. Koi says, I get raising children is hard, but if you don't teach them, they turn out like Mackenzie and Gypshit. Yep, Strongsville, Ohio. Diet Pepsi for me says. Okay, let me switch back here. I'll give it its, 2-minute time to recover after I switch tabs. It takes it forever to catch up to it. Okay. Dom says, stop effing texting me so effing shady. Mackenzie, whatever, Dom. Maybe try being nice about it. It's hard to say, can you stop texting me, sus? And then I'll be like, oh, okay. Oh, no. She would not be like, oh, okay. Dom says, okay. And Mackenzie says, just text me in like an hour or something when you're done being mean. And then several hours later, she says, what time will you not be busy? 10 minutes later, or actually more like 18 minutes later, she says, Bab, text back. Dom says, I don't know, I'm eating right now, then I don't know what I have to do. Mackenzie says, well, after you do what you gotta do, you can get me or I can get a ride to you. What you eating? I'm hungry AF, LMAO. Dom says, Chick-fil-A. Mackenzie says, are you serious? OMG, that sounds so good right now. Chicken minis. Dom says, yeah. Mackenzie says, well, lucky you, LMAO. It's hard AF to find food at Maddie's. Dom says, LOL. Mackenzie says, like, we can't eat anything. I'm also bored as fuck. What you doing? I swear, if Mackenzie, remember y'all heard Natalie Shirilla say on that one phone call that Mackenzie should start writing her book. What's it going to be called? Mackenzie is fuck. Oh, hey, Cherokee Girl says you are an early bird today. Did you get the worm? I just woke up feeling good today. I didn't have my so often I wake up in the night around anywhere from like 1 a.m. to 3 a.m., usually 3 a.m. But I wake up in the night and I'm up for an hour or two and then I go back to sleep and I never feel quite like I rested the next day. And that is almost constant. But I slept all the way through the night last night and I woke up, I'm like, damn, I feel good. Oh, thank you so much, Cherokee Girl. I appreciate that. Shorty Pie says, "OMG, do y'all hear about it?" Yes, I saw the stuff on that and I honestly haven't even read the details yet because it's it was just horrific and terrifying. Oh, that's so sweet. Kathleen says, "I miss the old fan with the noise." Yeah, it was rattling every few minutes. Kung Fu says, "Me thinking about my dad ever packing a bong in his lifetime." Oh man. Oh, cool. Prentice has a husky. Have to walk my husky, so I guess I'll bring y'all. We're going to walk. See Raven Girl, innocent as fuck. That'd be her book name. Oh my god, that's so funny. Innocent as fuck. Okay, back to the text. Oh, let me switch my screen up. Oh, never mind. Switching it up is gonna make it take forever to refresh again. Hey, Ruth Carol, good to see you. Okay. Mackenzie says, like we can't do anything. I'm also bored as fuck. What you doing? Dom says, running around. Mackenzie says, how's that? Are you still down to chill later tonight? Bab, you replied dry today. Like you've been answering every hour. Why are you just not answering now? It's been 2 fucking hours. Like, what the fuck? You don't even know how pissed this shit makes me. And you're like on your phone texting other people. You can take in 6 seconds to text me back like it's not hard. Dom says, my phone on 1%. Mackenzie, okay, don't you have a charger in your car? When are you going to be able to hang tonight? Because if for real, better not be late as fuck. Dom, no, I accidentally left it at Kyle's. Mackenzie, okay, scoop me soon. Answer to more than one thing a day. I don't want to ask 60 times. When are you going to be home? Questions. She's so demanding. Dom says, I'll probably be home around 8. My B, you're going to be proud of me though. Mackenzie says, okay, Bab, can you come get me at 8? Dom says, around then. Mackenzie says, okay, come as soon as you can. I'm at Maddie's. I can go home if you want me to be closer. He says, okay. It's interesting. She never even asked what he says she's going to be proud of him about. Like, no curiosity whatsoever, it seems. Because he says, Maddie's are mine, Bab. LOL. So what you doing with AJ and Carl? Want to answer? Shake my head. Never mind, bruh. I swear to God, I heard you on Carl's live. Question. When you coming? Dom. Dom says, I'm home now. My phone died. Mackenzie says, okay, bet. Can you get me from Maddie's? Bab. Dom says, can you get a ride? Mackenzie, yes. Can I come now? Question. Dom, leave in like 20. Mackenzie, can I just come in 10? Can I come at 8:40? I really want to leave. Dom, yeah, leave Maddie's at 8:40. Mackenzie, okay, bet. I will. On my way. Bab, come. Dom. And then she questioned, Bab, come? Dom says, 5 minutes. Mackenzie says, Dom, I'm not trying to just sit here alone. It's been more than 5. Baby, I don't know. Oh, I guess that was the end of it that night. The thing happened where she got to his house and sat in another room. But then they must have finally gotten together because it goes to the next day. Mackenzie says the next morning at 9:11, baby, I don't know what to wear with my Jordans. Dom says, all black. Mackenzie says, I found one. You're going to be like, damn, babe, I look cute as fuck today. Just wait. Dom says, for show. Mackenzie says, I'm starting to like this book a lot too. It's interesting. Dom says, how far are you? Mackenzie says, not really far, but I'm getting there. I'm gonna try to read page 100 this morning. I thought she was gonna say 100 pages. She said, I'm gonna try to read page 100. I was gonna try to read one page. Oh my God. Dom says, it's a small book, so yeah, that's good. Mackenzie says, is the Navy SEAL thing real? Like, did he actually get torn apart by a parachute? Like, is this based on a real person? Dom says, who's it by? I never read the book, so I wouldn't know. He bought her a book and told her to read it. And didn't read it himself. I'm gonna Google on my phone what this book is because it'll take forever on my computer. Hang on a sec, friends. It says it's by William H. McRaven. Book by William H. McRaven. Oh, there's a list of books by him. Duty, Honor, Country, Life. Make your bed. Little things that can change your life and maybe your world. The wisdom of the bullfrog. I bet Dom Goddard make your bed. I'm just guessing. I'm going to try and switch over and check comments real quick. Hopefully it won't take forever. Okay, let me switch, but I can't scroll just yet. It's doing its little refresh. There we go. Okay. Coy Rainbow says a sleigh ride. Prentice says I'm from Willard, Ohio. Went last year a few times, but missed the Mansfield prison tour. Ooh, dang. Kung Fu Panda, innocent as fuck. Bet. Right? If she read a relationship book, it would be titled Why Bab? Z Raven says she is relentless. 100%. Yeah. Kung Fu, 5 whole minutes. How long must she wait? She's cute as fuck after all, right? Oh man. Those guys were kung fu fighting. Those guys were fast as lightning. Okay. So, yeah, I bet the Make Your Bed book is what it was. Anyway, Mackenzie says, you're going to like this book. Like the parachute thing is fucked. Dom says, how far are you now? Mackenzie says, chapter 4, I had to go to school. Dom, how many pages? Mackenzie, let me see. Dom, try to read it every morning for a little, like while you eating breakfast and stuff. Mackenzie says, I can do that. And page 34, she's at 34. Dom says, okay, when you go home, read till 50. But if your mind's starting to get tired, don't. Or if it does. Mackenzie, okay, what are you doing right now? Dom, I just got home. Mackenzie, how was school today? Hang sometime today? Nice answer, Dom, LMAO. But Dom, I don't know what I'm doing today. Probably playing some b-ball. Mackenzie says, Maddie works today, so I'm going to be home soon. I'll hoop with you if you want to chill. Look at Insta. Bab. Dom says, I got to do stuff. I'll hit you up if I can chill. I'll hit you up if I can chill. Means Mackenzie's going to take that as he said he's definitely going to chill. Mackenzie says, are you going to answer? All right, just let me know. I'm going to be cleaning. Dom says, okay, I'll talk to you in a little. Mackenzie says, okay, Bab. When do you think you'll be free? I hate AJ and Joey much, bruh. Like, how can you sit there and hang with them? They are such bitches. Like, shake my effing head. Like, yeah, treat me shitty when I smoked all your broke asses up in the summer. And then several hour, or no, it's like an hour later, she says, babe, what's going on now? He never answered the other stuff. Dom says, I'm really tired and I'm doing a couple things. I'll hit your line soon. Mackenzie, okay, scoop when you're done. Like she just is so positive that they're going to hang out when he only said maybe. He was trying to back her off. Dom says, maybe. Mackenzie says, I'll give you 3 kissy if you come. Dom says, make it 4, lol. Mackenzie says, okay, Bab, text me soon. Bab, when are you going to be done? Please come soon. Really, so you just about to not answer now? Like, I have been waiting 30 minutes for you to tell me yes or no. There's no way you're still talking to that person. I don't mean to piss you off. You can just get mad when you're talking about me and you. Bruh, look what someone just posted. That went on for an hour and a half, all those texts. Dom says, what? And it looks like it's a change.org petition. Let me see if it's still up. Just a second. It's going to take the tab a minute. We'll let that ride. There we go. Well, it looks like maybe it's going to come up, but it's taking its time. Oh, page not found. Never mind. Okay. Dom says, the Phil thing? Mackenzie says, yes, holy shit. Dom says, LOL, I seen it this morning. Mackenzie says, WTF. Dom says, Phil is a bully, I guess. Mackenzie says, yeah, I'm grossed out that I used to be cool with him. Like I could puke. Not even joking at all. Dom says, what a weirdo. Mackenzie says, like, what if he did that to me, bruh? I was literally at his house. Dom says, what did he even do? Mackenzie says, did you read it? Dom says, kinda. Mackenzie says, I didn't really read all. Neither one of them have read it. Mackenzie says, apparently there's proof he was like touching on her without consent on the school camera and they did nothing. My mom just signed it. Dom says, LOL, let's start pushing the Miss Hackman again. Mackenzie says, LOL, okay, I'm about to read in a sec too. Let me send the link. Dom says, okay, I'll post the Hackman thing. Uzi album sucks. Oh, Mackenzie said the Uzi album sucks. That switched up fast. Dom says, I only listen to one song part way. Mackenzie says, I don't like it. Want to get some sushi today. Dom says, I'm going to be really busy. Mackenzie says, damn, well, Maddie works today too. So maybe if you have time at all today, we can hang. Or even for a little, you can bring me with you. Question, her hair at the end, bruh, WTF. Dom says, who is that? Mackenzie says, Dima and Emo Zoe. Dom says, who was fighting? Mackenzie says, Vinny and Yosef. Dom says, bruh, they both can't fight. Mackenzie says, I'm dead as fuck. Why would he fight Yusuf like he a frat kid? Dom says, I don't know. Mackenzie says, so fried. Look who I just seen. Like how? I'm so fucking mad. My paycheck was literally $81. Because Dom says, how many hours did you work? You sure they didn't try to scam you? Mackenzie says, I don't know. I'm so pissed. Dom says, think about it. If you worked more than 8 hours, no way it's 81. I'm about to shower though. I'll talk to you later. Mackenzie says, I'll look at my hours soon. I'm at the mall asking what place is higher at. After you shower, want to hang? Dom says, I still got a lot of shit to do. Got to stay focused. Mackenzie says, gay. Oh my God. She says, I just drove around. I was the one driving. When you done, you better come get me. She goes from asking to threatening, when you done, you better come get me. But Dom says, I will try, babe. No promises. Mackenzie says, okay, babe, do good today and text me when you almost done. I'm about to shower in like 5. Maddie just got Jordans. Low-key mad, but I mean, Dom says, LOL, which ones? Mackenzie says the maroon ones, but they're not even that cute. But I'm like, she really had to get a pair 2 days after me. Dom says, she a follower, babe. Be proud. Mackenzie says, I hate when people copy me so much, but at least I only paid 90 and she paid 120. Then she says, babe, you need to FaceTime me for 2 seconds. Scoop me soon. I want to see you. Call me. Why are you not answering now? Dom, text back. Dom, did you block? When your phone turn on, get me. Dom says, I'm tired. I'm about to get home and sleep probably. Mackenzie says, okay, we can just hang tomorrow then and FaceTime when you home, babe. Dom says, I'll just FaceTime you tomorrow morning or something. Notice how he didn't say you can come over tomorrow. Mackenzie says, okay, we could just hang tomorrow then and FaceTime when you're home, babe. Dom says, I'll just FaceTime you tomorrow morning or something. And, oh, oops, I read the same one again accidentally. Mackenzie says, morning, babe, the next day. When you're up, let me come over. Dom says 2 hours later, what you doing? Mackenzie says, getting my nails done right now. Probably going to be done soon if you want to hang. Dom says, that's dope. Yeah, probably. I got to get shit done. Then I'm going to Key Gok tonight. What the heck? Key Gok tonight? Mackenzie says, I'm salty because the girl who was doing them before cut my skin up. Damn, you got an extra ticket? Babe, after I get my nails done, let me drive with you. When you leave Kyle, scoop me from the mall or my house. Dom says, are you still at mall? I want food. Mackenzie says, come up. I'm there. LMAO, how was I supposed to know why we're balling? It's not a big deal, MB. If you scoop, I'll get food though. That text didn't make no sense. I don't know what she's trying to say. Dom says, don't come at me crazy for not texting you for 5 minutes. I don't want food anymore. I ate. Oh, okay. Kenzie says, I didn't know I was being like that. Well, still get me after. Dom says, I think I'm going to be busy. Mackenzie says, how you eat within 5 minutes? And then bring me, you said you said you were going to try to hang with me yesterday. You can bring me for 1 day. Dom says, I didn't. Mackenzie says, you didn't what? Because you did say you were going to try yesterday. Bruh, Dom, scoop. No, she didn't. I knew she was going to say that. Dom says, no, I got to do stuff. McKin says, babe, please, I want to hang with you today. Like, chill with you before that concert. You could have hung out with me instead of Kyle. Really, baby, you can't answer the phone? Dom says, I was barely even at Kyle's. Mackenzie says, I don't know. I'm trying to see you. Like, we haven't chilled in a couple of days. Dom says, I have to go to the concert in an hour, so I can't. Mackenzie says, how long is the concert? Like, I hate how you make time for all your friends, but you only sometimes try with me. After the concert, can we chill then? Mackenzie, my UTI meds might have canceled out my birth control. I'm scared. Once again, they are having sex while she is 15. And let me double check if Dom is 17 or 18 here. And like I said, this doesn't make Dom any less of a victim, but what it does do is establish when Mackenzie was threatening to call the cops on him, there's more he could have got in trouble for than dealing. What is Dominick Russo's age? Or what is his birth date? Okay, his birth date, September 24, 2001. Age calculator. Okay, so we go September 24th, 2001 to March of 2020. He was 18 years old and 5 months, and she's 15. So, yeah, we saw in the January text, where she was threatening to report him to the cops. And so there is more that he could have gotten in trouble for than just the dealing, because, age of consent is 16 in Ohio. She's 15 here and he's 18. So, yeah. Jupo says he'd get peace in jail. That's true, but Dom has said himself to many people he'd rather die than go to jail, which sadly it appears Mackenzie took freaking care of for him. Kung Fu had a long wait. Yeah. Be more afraid of her getting pregnant. Oh man, he would have been harassed for life. He'd have been like Ken. Ken with Gypsy Rose. Oh man. Okay, let me go back here. Dom says, I have to go to the concert in an hour, so I can't. Mackenzie says, how long is the concert? You make time for my friends, blah, blah, blah. My UTI meds might have canceled my birth control. I'm scared. Dom says, I had to give Kyle stuff. And Dom says, are you sure that's a thing? Abortion is still legal too. So Dom is acknowledging that pregnancy is a possibility. So they were definitely having a sexual relationship here. Mackenzie says, I looked up my meds and it said I'm good. Oh, so she just threw that out for no reason. She said, but still, I'm kind of scared. LOL. Dom says, I don't think it can. I don't think it'll affect it. Mackenzie says, can I come chill with you for a little? I hope so. I just passed your house with Lexi and I'm about to be home. Dom says, no, I'm taking a shit and I got to do shit after, then prep for Gluck. He tells her he's pooping all the time. Mackenzie says, let me prep with you, baby. I'm home right now and I'll just leave when you about to go. Dom says, no, we can just chill later. Tomorrow I got to go to Cavs game. Oh shit. When he said we can just chill later, she's going to take that as he definitely said tomorrow or after the concert. Mackenzie says, bring me to Cavs. I work, never mind. But like, promise we chill later. Like, I wanted to chill now because Maddie, and then want to hang with me too. I want to see you today. I miss you. Dom says, I don't know. It's going to be really late. Mackenzie says, why are you going now then? Mackenzie says, how long is it? Mackenzie says, like, just let me see you now, Bab. I can literally leave whenever. Bab, answer me. Dom says, we getting lit right now, and we gonna be back really late. Mackenzie says, who are you going with? I wish I could just come. Like, I miss my Dom. Dom says, me, Angelo, Ashish, Ryan, Trey. Mackenzie says, well, I can tell you about to have hella fun, LMAO. I'm gonna come chill as soon as you home after the concert. It's like how she just throws that out there, like as a definite thing. What time does it start? Tell me when it starts so I'm not wondering why you not texting back. You have fun and be safe. Text me later. Dom says, okay, we on the way, babe. Mackenzie says, brah, I fucking hate AJ and Joey so much. And okay, like broke ass N-words that I smoked up plus rides all summer and they can't even answer me or chill with me, but they can hang with fucking Amory. Like shit made me so mad. Fake it fuck. Like I fucking hate how everyone is busy 24/7 and if they not, I get ignored by literally everyone in the world. Dom, I'm so done right now. AJ is an effing bitch. Dom says, damn, why? Mackenzie says, Insta, look at Insta. I'm so fucking mad. He's cut off. Why do fake people love me? That's weird. Dom says, I don't know, bruh. Mackenzie says, like mad? I drove them everywhere and got their weed and food. Like what? Dom says, that doesn't matter. Mackenzie says, what the fuck do you mean it doesn't matter? They are literally users. Question, question, question. Thanks for the support. So helpful. I bet you still going to be cool with him after this too. Dom, you better hang with me after this concert. I swear. Babe, win it over. Please tell me. I work tomorrow. And if you end up not wanting to hang, I'm literally going to cry. Like, when are you going to be home, Dom? This shit is so gay. How is the concert still going on? If it started at 7, it doesn't add up. Oh, she's a mess. And why do they always use gay as a slur for stuff? You know, if something is gay, then it should be actually doing a gay action and just being identified as gay. Not bad or good. Anyway, I'll stop ranting about that. It just annoys me, y'all. Dom says it's going to be over soon. Ashish has VIP, so we're going to wait for him. Mackenzie, what time will you be home? Like, I can't just come over at 2 a.m. Bruh, if we can't hang tonight, I'm going to flip out. Like, then I can't see you all day tomorrow because if shitty Taco Bell. Dom says, I'll come to Taco Bell. Mackenzie says, you wouldn't do that. I miss you. I'm so sad right now. Was the concert good though? What time will you be home? If it's super late later, just come over to my house and cuddle me for a little. Okay, so that tells us that he can come to her house while she's 15 and he's 18 and cuddle up apparently in their bed, I assume. And that's okay with her parents, I guess. Mackenzie says, I might just sleep tomorrow. I work at 1. Can we hang tomorrow, please? Dom says, I don't know when I'll get back for real. Maybe like 12:30. That'd be early. Mackenzie says, if I stay up, can I 100% come to it? Worth it? Spam bot when you home. Why did she say spam bot? No. Dom says, what? Mackenzie says, call. Spam me when you home. Bab. Dom says, I'm Ox. Mackenzie says, when are you going to be home? Dom says, I don't know, still in Cleve. Mackenzie says, really? Tomorrow, I'm going to call you early. Night. Dom says, sorry, we had to take Sean to his Caesar and find Trey. It was a mess. Mackenzie says, sad face, we can't all be winners. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to call you when I'm awake. Dom says, okay. Mackenzie says, I work at 1 and I want to see my baby before. My bab. Dom says, okay, I'm finally about to sleep. Mackenzie says, I'm up. I want to come. This is the next morning at 8. Dom says, I'm asleep. Mackenzie says, we can hang about 6:30. We chilling at 6:30. You're not sleeping. Dom says, not anymore, LOL. Why you say that though? Mackenzie says, thanks for texting me that you're up. This is at like 1 p.m. Dom says, N-word what? Mackenzie says, I told you I want to hang out this morning and I said you're going to sleep. I'm on my way to work and seeing your car not there. Dom says, I just got up and got gas. Mackenzie says, oh, LOL, you usually take a minute to get up in the morning. At 6:30 when I get off, can we hang, baby? Dom says, no. Mackenzie says, why? Like, no? What you mean, no? We were supposed to chill last night. You're making me so mad. Dom says, you just made me mad. What you mean? You come at me crazy. Mackenzie says, LOL, it wasn't crazy, Dom. Do you not remember last night? Like, I miss you, Dom. I haven't seen you in days. Dom says, you called me out saying I wasn't sleeping when I got up at 12:30 and went to get gas and work out, and you were mad at me for what? Because I wouldn't have had time to chill anyway. Mackenzie says, sorry, I just miss you. Like, I'm trying hard to hang. Dom says, maybe later. Mackenzie says, at 6:30, I'll go home and change, then come see my baby. How was last night, though? Dom says, maybe. Mackenzie questioned how was last night, though, and Dom says it was okay. Mackenzie says, okay, bet. Damn, so I seen like 3 videos and it looked fun. Are you coming up to see me today? Dom says, I got to get my car fixed. Mackenzie says, what happened? Dom says, it's getting fixed. Mackenzie says, what happened to the car, Dom? Dom says, nothing. It's been needing fixed. Mackenzie says, I'm about to be home. Can I come over? I will get a ride. You can answer the phone. So you can decline but not text back? Dom says, I'm busy. Mackenzie says, how? It's Sunday, Dom. Make some motherfucking time for me before I flip out. Like, I don't know why giving me time is so hard. Like, I waited till 12:30 when you said you were going to be home. And then you just say, I'm just going to go to sleep and get home at 3 a.m. You're going to make me flip out. Like, it's actually sad how literally you try to hang with me. You're not busy 24/7. Answer the phone. Dom says, I'm doing wit. Mackenzie says, Dom, you're literally doing that shit I used to do with you. Shit that I used to do with you. What the hell? Mackenzie says, like, show some effing effort. I effing say, wait till 12:30 last night, then when you're going to be home. Which you obviously weren't home. I've been waiting for fucking days to hang with you. Answer the phone. Bruh, if you don't call me, I'm going to flip out like so much more than I am right now. Like, what the fuck? I know you're not on D&D. If you on D&D, you are such a dick. Answer right now. So you're going to beg me for something I say yes, then you can't see me for 4 days? Then you're going to be active on Insta and ignore me while you active? Like, what type of shit is that? Do you know how that makes me feel? Like, it's mean as shit. Those texts all came in over a course of 19 minutes. Dom says, Kinsey, give me a sec. I'm doing something big. Mackenzie says, get the fuck off D&D right now. Oh, I thought your car was getting fixed too. Like, are you lying to me? Get me after. We still need to talk about shit. At 6, come get me. Like, this isn't fucking fun for me at all. You always be doing some BS like this to me, and you're going to leave me on open too. And you're still on D&D. Like, what the fuck? The only thing you doing right now is lying to me. I'm about to just stop trusting you if you're going to be like this. Like, who the F acts like a 10-year-old? Okay, I'll just get a ride. And those came in over another time period of about 15 minutes. Dom says, what? Hold up. Mackenzie says, you better come. Come at 6:30 or 7. That's literally the latest. 6:30 or 7, we are going to hang out before all you want to do is sleep. Okay, leave me on red. Shake my head. Don't be like this again. That was another 20 minutes. Dom says, it must have been by accident. Let me get my shit done so we can just chill. Mackenzie says, for real, hurry. I don't want to end up coming over at 8 or later. Like, I want to come now. Please just hurry. Left me on red again. Dom says, I don't know how it's doing that. Maybe my hand. I'm going to be done pretty soon, but I don't want to chill if you keep acting like this. Mackenzie says, acting like what? I'm excited and I thought you were going to make me wait until like 8 or 9, but bet. And I'm not trying to act anyway. I just want to come over and see you. Dom says, okay, you'll be able to come soon. Mackenzie, no way. Okay, I'm ready. When you going to be home? Dom, I'm about to leave home in 5 minutes. Mackenzie, bet. Can I come now? Good morning, BB. They go to another day. Oh my God. They go to another day and it's about to be the same thing. Is there ever a day where Mackenzie doesn't beg to come see him? Like every freaking day. Dom says, about to go to school, blah, blah, blah. Lord alive. Kung Fu Panda says, straight jacket for Christmas. Kathleen says, lock her up in a mental hospital. Her parents need to help her. Cherokee girls, Dom should have gotten her a straight jacket for Christmas. Diet Pepsi for me says, no pill can fix that girl. Yeah, it is nuts. Jupo says, have we heard even one message of him asking to see her rather than just agreeing after she asked and pesters? I think literally just one. I'm pretty sure I've only actually seen one where he was like, come on over. And she had been asking, but he didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? There was one or two where he was like, come on over, babe. And we're in March and I've been reading all the days since January. And I've literally only saw like one time. She would not let him breathe at all. No, not at all. Not at all. And the thing is, like, they're young teenagers, you know? They're not in actual adult age where, like, you know, someone's been in a relationship in adult age for a while and all of a sudden they start acting for space. They probably want to see someone else. At the same time, adults don't smother each other, you know, not healthy adults. Like I was talking earlier, there's a way to be clingy if a person feels that without it being toxic. You know, you can say, I have these needs, and then the other person chooses whether to accommodate them or not and stay in the relationship. But at the age they're at, like they should be able to have space and explore and everything. It's so toxic. Oh my God, Rainbow, that is the best analogies. Rainbow says she practically took up residence in his lungs. You know what I've realized, y'all? Okay, so I think we all can see an hour right now is about my limit of time I can be on a live before I start like needing to walk around. I'm getting hungry and blood sugar's starting to crash a little bit. I need to do my snacks and move around a bit. But I've realized it takes an hour for me to get through one day of their text. And that's not like with Natalie Shirilla, where like I'm just stopping to rant every 5 seconds. It literally takes that long to get through one day of their text because she texts so often, just begging to violate his boundaries. Because he'll say almost every day, I don't want to chill tomorrow. I just want to have some time to myself, you know, blah, blah, blah. And every day she starts in on the begging and the wearing him down. Like it is actually crazy, y'all. Well, I'm gonna end the live and go get a snack because, like I said, I about an hour is about what I can do before I'm getting kind of like a little nauseated and need to walk around and things like that. But I might go live again later this afternoon because I really want to speed up getting through all of their text messages because I feel like I need to read them all before I can properly analyze. You know, I'm analyzing as we go along, but once I've actually read them all, then I'll be like, I can definitely say this relationship was always 100% toxic. It never had a good phase. It appears like that right now, but you know, we're only we've read 2 months of their text. We read the last 2 weeks and then just 2 months. So yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this, and then, like I said, I might go live again in a couple hours or so. 1970 says, "Do it." Rainbow says, "Extra lives, yes." Yeah. Well, hopefully I will see y'all again. Yes, you guys are always so awesome in chat. I always appreciate hanging out for y'all. You're super cool. Shorty Pie says, I would have left her ass. Me too. Diet Pepsi for me. Blabby Kinsey. Definitely, definitely. Well, thank you all so much. And I will probably see you again this afternoon. Have a good a couple hours, friends.